way around. Prevalent, and it's crazy because a lot of people don't shed light on this very subject. Hey, DRay027, I see you. Thank you for joining in tonight. And it's crazy because your name is D-Ray, right? And I was gonna jump into real life cases with celebrities, and the very first name that I have up here is D-Ray Davis. D-Ray Davis, he did an interview with Tdtv a while back, and he revealed that 2 women who were friends with his mom violated, victimized him when he was only 11 years old. He was 11 years old, and to this day, he's still scarred from the experience. So this is what I'm talking about. Women who are over the age of 18. But these women was like in their 30s, you know, violating a young man who he said he didn't have no hair down there. He was not, he was a kid. And these women were forcing him to perform oral sex on them. And that's extremely sad. And to carry that around with you for years and years and years, and people not take it very seriously because they're like, you're a boy and they were women, and who doesn't want to have fun with women? He described them as 2 ugly women that he would never, ever, ever want to engage in anything like that with. And, excuse me. And it's very sad that he went through that. And just because he's a celebrity does not mean, or a comedian does not mean that that sheds light on the situation. Even part of the, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little emotional, a little choked up. Even during the interview, somebody in the background, I'm sorry. Take a sip of my Euphoria water. Hold on. I swear that's somebody getting in the way of me revealing this information, y'all, because I don't ever be coughing all crazy like this. But just because he's a comedian, just because he's a celebrity, does not take away the seriousness of the situation. And like I said, during the interview, somebody on the team, like when he mentioned it, they kind of like chuckled in the background. You could hear it. And it was like, there's nothing to laugh about that situation, because he was revealing. And while you would go on Vlad to talk about it, because I don't know, like Tdtv don't seem like the type of platform that I would, you know, be on. No shade to him, but shade. But my thing is, but I am grateful that he did share his experience, because it shed light on, I'm sorry that it happened to him, but it shed light on a very serious situation that is often overlooked and not taken seriously. And I'm glad that he shared it, because sometimes the first step to really recovering and really, I don't know, healing yourself is to acknowledge that it happened and to tell someone and to get it off your chest, and make sure that that people know, and that can help in a lot of ways, because sometimes it happens to you and you feel like, was it even real? Was I just imagining things? Am I overreacting and all this stuff? And what telling someone does is it puts it out there in the universe. It happened. I'm addressing it. And because it happened, now, and I'm acknowledging it. Now I can take the steps, the proper steps to heal myself. And while I may not be totally healed, at least I can start the process. So, and I got two more, and then I'm going to wrap up this topic. We had Prince, who was violated by his stepsister at 16 years of age. He even did a song about the experience. A lot of people listened to the song, but they didn't really pay attention to the fact that that's what it was about. But it was about his stepsister taking advantage of him and raping him and making him do stuff and touch her in ways that was not comfortable with him, and, you know, exposing him to a world that he should not have been exposed to when he was only 16 years of age. And we have R. Kelly, who we all know the allegations surrounding R. Kelly and the very real conviction and all this stuff. But there was something mentioned in his documentary that we should kind of shed light on, was that he says that when he was younger, his sister sexually assaulted him and raped him. So if you or anyone you know, male or female, has ever dealt with sexual assault or rape, and you want to have a safe, you want to relay the information, but you want to feel safe in doing so, there is a number you can call. It's 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-HOPE. Make the call today if you have experienced this. If you have, you know, we gotta start taking this seriously. And a lot of people are scared to report because it is not taken seriously, and that's very sad. So if you're not sure if you want to report it to the police, or you're not even sure if it really has happened, and you just want to like get clarification of what has happened, you feel like you're overreacting or whatever. But I don't feel, if you did not give your consent and someone touched you in a way that was not comfortable with you, or made you do something you were not comfortable with, no, you're not overreacting. No, you're not overthinking things. You're well within your right to report it, to tell someone, call the police, go to the doctors, get tested immediately, have a rape kit done. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is something that needs to be taken very seriously. So once again, if you want a safe place to fall, you want a ear to speak into, to tell about the situation, please call 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-HOPE. I hope that I gave you the information in a clear, concise way. I hope that it has given violated persons, because I don't want to say victims because it has a negative connotation, and violated persons, I want to give them the strength to report it, and that no, this is not a fantasy, it's not something that is a figment of an imagination. It happens, okay? It happens. And it's very sad that a lot of people do not take it seriously. So with that, once again, I'm going to mention the number 1-800-656-HOPE, so you can report your situation and have someone listen to you and not judge you or make you feel that you cannot say anything about it. So that wraps up the social topic for tonight. How did you feel about the social topic? Do you feel that you got the information that you needed? You know, share it. You know, I'm going to also repost this on YouTube. You know, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Think Different TV. Like, comment, share. This particular topic needs to be shared. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be addressed. And I feel very strongly about that. Like I said, I'm a boy mom, and a lot of this hit me on the head. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is they did mention that the person is mentally challenged. Now, there's kids out there that, you know, face autism, they face Down syndrome, they have a lot of, you know, challenges, and there are people that take advantage of that as well. So they may not be able to speak for themselves, they may not be able to tell what, but you can always tell what their behaviors. Pay attention to the behaviors of them around that particular person. Okay, it's very telling. People will let you, they may not say it, but they can show it. They can tense up. They may wet themselves when they're around a person. They may, you know, they may act violently when they're told to go with the person. Do not take that lightly. That's not them just acting out. Something's wrong. Okay? So pay attention to their behaviors. So we're going to take a pause for the cause and talk about my sponsors. My sponsors are Euphoria Water. That's been holding me down this episode, because when I got choked up, I could just drink some of my Euphoria Water and got all of that out of my system. So alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives. If you're going to hydrate the right way with Euphoria Water. When you're ready to place your order, you can go to Euphoria Water right here on IG, or you can call 267-707-8279. Contact Mike. He'll hook you up. Make sure you get that water for your body. Make sure you got the healthy water in your body, and you're all hydrated, and you're feeling all good, and you're glowing all good, and you know you can go to the bathroom with no problem. I mean, like, digestion is not a problem over here, okay? Because of my Euphoria Water. So there you go. I'm gonna take a sip. And then you have Anointed Ads. Anointed Ads is a award-winning graphic design website company. He's been doing it over 14 years. His name is Phil. He's done over 100 websites. He has eye-catching designs. You know an anointed ad when you see it, okay? And he has created the ad for the flyer for Think Different TV. Just amazing work. Amazing work. And he's so good at what he does. They're both Black-owned businesses. He is ready to work with you. So when you're ready, you call 609-534-0237 when you're ready to get your project started, and you mention Think Different TV, you get 15% off. He's ready to work with you guys. So go to Anointed Ads on IG. That's ANOINTEDADS right here on IG. You can also check out his website at www.anointedads.com, because how can you create websites and not have a website of your own, right? So he has his own website. And you can also follow him on Facebook. There you go. Like him on Facebook, follow him on IG, and check out his website to see the work that he does. He's amazing. Check him out. All right. So, woo! That topic took a long time, but guess what, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Independent Artist Spotlight. And I have a special guest that's going to join me tonight. Before I bring him in, I'm going to say, Logic 613, I see you. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining on. This that topic was very, ooh. But now we're going to have our music, which is and I'm going to bring him in. He's been watching. Let me see. Let's see. Bring him in. There we go. I done invited him in. This guy. Hey! So before we really get into, I want to just give people a little bit of background on the Philly Trenton connection, okay? So this guy right here, Tone the Artist, is from Trenton, New Jersey, and they have a phrase, Trenton makes, the world takes, okay? And he's just amazing. Like, I've known him since, I believe, 2010. I remember the first time we met, we was at Darling's Palace. Shout out to Stacey Darling. They had something called, it was like a just, it wasn't just words, it was just melody, right? And it was an R&B event, and I just remember, like, he came in and he had a whole squad, y'all. So I'm like, how Jersey in the building more than Philly, and we're in North Philly? Like, something's up, like something is wrong. But I was so glad that they came in, they did their thing. He had Sharissa there, Bone. It was somebody else that was there too. Oh my gosh. It was like you had came with a whole crew. And he's still working with people to this day. But he's an amazing producer, engineer, lyricist. What don't you do? He's like, don't lose. An amazing father. He does so much. I just enjoy working with this guy. We worked on, I released some music on my page, and he actually engineered it. Disguise of You, he was the engineer on that. He was also the engineer of Fourth Stage. And there's a lot more work to come, but the work that he has done, his catalog is extensive, okay? He worked on Sharissa Lene's first album, her second one too, right? And Bone, he worked with Tyler. I forgot Tyler. That was my baby back then. Definitely worked with these guys, put out some amazing content, amazing music. We have a song called Success that is a hit. Because maybe it may be old to us, but it's gonna be new to a lot of people that hear it for the first time. And geez, what can I not say? Like, there's so many great things I can say about you. I'm just so glad that you joined on tonight. I know it was a little bit of a wait. That topic was a lot, but I was like, I hit him up, y'all, and I was like, I'm gonna spotlight you next week. And he was like, okay. So real quick, can you tell the people, Tone the Artist, what you do, what you want people to think of when they hear Tone the Artist?
Well, first, I appreciate you having me on. I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed the topic. It was thought-provoking, and it was necessary for us and us to move forward as a society. Well, as you know, I'm Tone the Artist, and I can start with just the name. I came up with the name Tone the Artist because I did so many things: rap, sing, dance, produce, play instruments. So I kind of wrapped it all in. Because when people used to ask about me, they'd be like, Tone, which tone? Drumming tone, singing tone, rapping tone, dancing tone? I was like, you know what, let me just put it all together and have it be Tone the Artist. So my title is Master of Sound. Anything that makes sound, I can manipulate it and make it hot. I started off as instrumentalist, as a drummer. Went from church to the high school band to the military band. And from there, I kind of grew my love for making beats and production. And that came out of, you know, a bit of a necessity, because when I was in that time of, when I first started like rapping, because I've always been rapping, I've always been an MC. But, you know, there was a certain time before YouTube where getting instrumentals was so difficult. It was very difficult to get instrumentals. And you would have to go like on LimeWire and risk infecting your whole computer just to try to find an instrumental.
Yeah.
So that's what started me saying, you know what, let me try my hand at, you know, making some beats. And then that just kicked off, and it just kept steamrolling because of the rhythm that's in me from being a dancer and being a drummer. Making beats was natural to me. And then in around 2005, 2006 is when I met Sharissa Lene. And she was the first artist that was like, yo, this stuff that you're doing is nice. What do you think? You know, let's get it. Let's do this. And I was like, wow, somebody wants to, you know, use my stuff to single out. Okay. So, you know, and then that really kicked it off from there. And I've been, you know, in the field ever since. I became an official engineer. I'd always been recording, but I couldn't label myself an engineer until I had the actual professional skill set. So that skill set came around the time you and I, LaShia, when we met. And I had Bob, who's still my mentor, and Bob is who showed me. Shout out to Bob, Bobby Jones, Trenton, New Jersey. You know what we do, you know. And he was the one who was like, all right, look, if you're going to call yourself an engineer, you need to have the tools. So that's why I started that journey. And then from there, I just took it on with myself, and I developed myself as an engineer. I developed my ears. I developed my ability to stay relative in the market with my production. And eventually went into, now I'm also sing, and I'm an MC. And, you know, all the other things combined. And, you know, you can always go check me out. tonetheartist.com. It has everything there. My music, videos, beats for sale. You can schedule me for a session, whether it be for recording, production, or engineering, mixing. And everything is also there. At the bottom, you can see the Instagram, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Twitch, everything else that's got me hooked up to this internet. And yeah.
I love your tagline. I love your tagline, this is art, you know, because it's so much more than just singing or rapping or anything. It's actually art. You're constructing a masterpiece. Every time you put a track together, anytime you do anything you do musically, it's always a masterpiece. You're so good at it. You're like Picasso. I like it. I love your tagline. This is our LLC, and I just love that you work with so many different people. So can you talk about the networking aspect and how much that has helped you grow as an artist and what you do?
The networking, I would say to anybody in any entrepreneurial field, even if you're in the 9-to-5 field, you will go far when you extend your network, when you put out that spider web. And basically, the way I was even able to meet you was through networking. I had a manager, shout out to Just, SA Entertainment. I had a manager who was just putting people on in my city. You know, we had a venue that was, it's still there. If you've ever been to Trenton, it's not currently open as its name, but if you've been in Trenton, you probably know of Maxine's downtown. It was our major venue for performances. It still has the big marquee up there that says Maxine's. And there was a time where that stage was only reserved for R&B artists because they felt that the crowd hip-hop brain might have been the contrary to the interests of the club. And just really opened the door for MCs to be able to hit that stage and express themselves. And I'll say we went years without fights. Like, there wasn't fights. And just doing that for us in the town not only opened up the venue to more acts, but it opened up the venue to people coming to Trenton to see what we were doing. And then that's where I met most of my network. That's where I met Bone, Reese, Grown Man Reese. You can go look up his joint. We just released a single together that I produced and engineered. It's called Fuck You Right. You'll be all right. It's only for adults' ears. But if you go, you can YouTube it. And you can look it up on Spotify, you know, all the stuff. So Bone was the first artist I approached and was like, bro, because after you seen him perform, I was just like, whoa, wait, where did that come from? And so when I approached him, and then, so it was Bone was the first artist I approached. And then came Ken Will, and then Tyler Marr, and then the Young Boys. We called them the Young Boys. I forget what their group name was at the time. But overall, from the time that he was like, "Yo, let this MC on stage," I know it's an R&B venue. Let this MC on stage. From that time to about 6 months, I collected 13 artists and connects that I was engineering and producing for, just out of that one venue. And that took me almost everywhere I went. Those connects till today still keep me connected to Philly, LaShia, still keep me connected to Georgia, still keep me connected to New York. A lot of different places I've been able to network and connect with through that one venue and one opportunity of somebody saying, look, let these young guys on this stage, young guys and girls on this stage, and let them do what they do. So I will say that networking is one of the most important parts of your road to success, because it's not always about what you have or what you can do. A lot of it is about who you know that is willing to plug you in to the places that will appreciate the art that you bring.
Awesome. So I wanted to touch on, like, when people hear Tone the Artist, what do you want people to think of when they hear that name? What exactly do you want people to say? Ah, yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
That's what I strive for. Excellence. I call it the press play, and this analogy might be a bit jarring, but not all of us, but a lot of us are from the hood, so we understand. When you have a product that you're trying to sell on the street, that first taste has to be addictive. I call that the press play. If I get anyone into my studio, I'm in a position to press play, the product will be addictive. When you leave that studio, when you get in the car or on a train or wherever, and you press play, I want you to hear excellence through and throughout. I want you to hear you, how you know you need to be heard. And that's what I want people to think of when they think of Tone the Artist. Excellence. Like, I'm gonna get excellence, he does excellence, and that's where it's at.
And no doubt you are excellent at every right. You just doing the daggone thing. But I want to ask you this question. Does the learning stop?
The learning never stops. The learning never stops, one, because the young artists are always pushing the envelope. And if you are not in line with what's going on currently, you're going to get pushed out. So you have to learn. That's from an artist perspective. You have to constantly be learning, because these young artists are pushing the envelope to the limit. Whether I like it, whether I don't like it, whether you like it, it does not matter. They are pushing the envelope, and they're going to keep stretching every genre to its height. And then on top of that, we have that all lovely technology. Technology will surpass you if you don't stay on top of it. You absolutely have to be in tune with technology and how it works. And that is something that is forever learning, understanding what's new, how to use it, and when to use it. That is forever learning experience when it comes to anything, but especially when it comes to art, because you've always got the younger generation coming up pushing the limits, and you've always got so much new technology that you have to learn. You know, before everything was analog, reel to reel,
I was just about to say,
MPCs.
could you imagine somebody still doing analog? Like, I'm never
We
gonna
already
switch.
got a little bit of tape left. You better get it right. You know, and that's been one of the beauties of this learning experience. Understanding that if you learn how to merge the analog and the digital world, you become a beast that is untamed, and you can reach some of the highest heights. Because the thing about the digital world is it shortens your time frame of creation. You don't have to spend 2, 3, 4 hours making a track now, because you've got it digitally. You can cut, paste, move this, that, move this in, boom, 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 and it makes it so much easier. Now, what the analog side does, which I always still keep that in my studio, in my signal flow to my digital converter, which is my, my Focusrite. What that does is it gives you a nice, authentic, thick sound. So when you mix the two together, you can still achieve that old school, raw, thick, colorful sound with less time. I can make a beat in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, as opposed to having to bang certain things out. And it might take me an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to roll out a track. Even when it comes to recording, the new software is something. It's amazing. I can record everything without actually having. It records everything, so I can now say, I'm gonna go back to this take. I'm gonna go back to this take. Go back to this take. I'm gonna take this from this take and do this and that. So yes, it's that fusion is really a necessity. Really a necessity.
Really quickly before I ask you this question, I want to just shout out Mizzy Getting Fit. I see you. Thank you for joining on tonight. I don't know if you're still on, but thank you for joining on when you did.
Yes,
So the thing that I liked about analog is I feel like that put pressure on artists to be the best when they come in. Like, no, oh, I'm not sure. Like, it put pressure on them to be at their highest level, to be that excellence when they walk through the door, when they step into the studio, because it's like, listen, we got this much tape and you can only mess up but so much. So you better come with the fire. And I only know one person that can nail stuff in one take that I heard nail stuff in one take, and that was Aretha Franklin. All right. She would go in, she was no nonsense. She was like, I'm gonna get this done. And she was a one take wonder, okay? But I do like the fact that digital allows you to get stuff done in a little time, and also that that someone if they have the gift, but they're not exactly like perfect, like it still can be fixed, and it can be, put to the standard where they feel comfortable with releasing it. So there's pros and cons to each one. But my big pro with analog is definitely that it forces you to be the best when you come in, and then digital definitely allows you to shorten the time to which to be perfect and get stuff done. So I do agree with you on that. So I do have this other question, right? What do you have in store for 2022? Like, what's happening with you? Like, what you got going on? Like, what you got in the works? Who are you working with? Like, can that be released, or I don't know.
So 2022 is going to be an amazing year for This Is Art. Um, so one of the major things I'm releasing this year is the mixtape. This Is Art mixtape. I'm going to release a compilation of songs from the many artists that I've worked with. And just to rattle off a few, got Rocky. Rocky's from the town.
Oh yeah,
We just
Rocky, shout out to Rocky.
I shout out to Rocky. We recently shot a video down in Atlanta. It's a dope video for a dope song called Undecided. You can look up that on YouTube and Spotify and all the other fies and all that stuff. So I'm gonna have Rocky on the mixtape. I'm gonna have Harley. Shout out to Delaware. That Delaware Philly Trenton connection. Harley is an amazing singer and songwriter, and she's got a great band, and she's just amazing. We went in the studio our first time. I think we banged out 4 tracks in one night.
Wow.
That went from beat to writing to recording, one night, 4 tracks, and it was just a crazy flow. So she's gonna be on there. Lynn Keys from Trenton, New Jersey. Shout out to the town. Lynn Keys is up. Woo! She is something else. Her pen is on fire. She got a pen like yours. Like, it's on fire. And her vocal ability is through the roof. And then also the MC extraordinaire, Braxton. He is.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Definitely check out Braxton. If you haven't, go look him up on Spotify. We dropped his second album, which is actually the 3rd project that we did together. We dropped his first album, then an EP, then his second album. So his first album was The Power of Shalem. Shout out to my cousin Shalem, who passed a few years ago. So we did do something in dedication for him. So that's the first project, The Power of Shalem. And then I forget the second project was Black August, which was still a kind of an ode because it happened in August. So it was an ode, and she's got some amazing things. She's got a track on there with B. Dot the God. If anybody follows battle rap and smack, then you know who B. Dot the God is. And he's got a track with him that I produced, and I was extremely happy. This be one of my first like major placements with an artist that's established and that has some renown. And then of course Reese. He's going to be on the mixtape, Grown Man Reese. You can, look him up at IG, New Face of R&B. That's R-N as in Nancy, B as in boy. New Face R&B. So he's going to be on that joint. And of course, yours truly, Tone the Artist. So that's going to be one of the major things that I do this year because I've compiled so many songs with so many artists. I probably have at least maybe 60 or 70 songs. I could literally make like 13 mixtapes today. So what I want to do is put this all into one cohesive project where we can showcase everything. Now, the other major development for this year in 2022, shout out to my brother, DJ Matic. We are going to start a concert series where we will be doing concerts and live streaming them. He's got everything set up. I went over there a couple of weeks ago to work out the sound portion of having everything hooked up for the live stream. We've got the cameras, we've got the lights, we've got the venue, we've got him, of course, on the tables. The wheels are still. So we're going to be doing concert series this year. So those are going to be the 2 major developments. Also, I will be dropping a project in the winter time this year. I know it's been long awaited. It's been long awaited for Tone the Artist to drop his project. So I am going to drop my project, and it's so funny because like I've got so much material, but I do spend a culpable amount of time getting everybody right. Making sure that everybody I work with has the time that they need, and making sure that everybody's stuff is hot. Because I know what I can do for myself, and it's not difficult or too time consuming. But I am going to drop my project this year, and and it's gonna be called The Memoirs of Antoine. That's gonna be the name of the project. It's going to be yes, Antoine is my go man. Yes, so it's going to be a personal project, kind of giving people just an invite into my life and who I am and how I became who I am, because not everybody is privy to my private life, and not everybody knows how I got to where I am and how I became who I am. And that album is going to be a source of where everybody gets the information at the same time, things that people have no idea of. So the Memoirs of Antoine will be dropping this winter. I've got the This Is Art mixtape that I'll be dropping in the summer. And within the next month or two, we'll be doing our first concert series. It's going to be streamed live on Twitch. So it's twitch.tv/ToneTheArtist. All this information will be in one centralized location, ToneTheArtist.com. You can go there and get all the information. So if you miss out on the IG, or if you don't see the YouTube, or if you don't see the Facebook, ToneTheArtist.com will contain everything.
Absolutely. It's always good to have a website where everybody can just find everything that you do and have all your social media outlets on it. And I just want to say that I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your growth. I love what you're doing. I love you because you're just so great. and you just when I say the growth, I'm telling you guys, like, man, I remember and it wasn't even the beginning. That's what's crazy about it. Like, it wasn't like the beginning. Like, he already gave y'all like the history, like how he came to be, and then he ended up in Philly, and that's when I met him. But he already was well established, and he just continues to grow as an artist, as a lyricist, as an engineer. He's always learning. He's always trying to find a new way of doing things, but not cutting back on the efficiency and the just the care, the perfection that goes into everything he does. And I remember watching a D.L. Hughley interview, and he said, "You are what you continue to do." And I see that. I see that you are the artist that you say you are. Like, it's not a put on. It's not a lie. It's not like you're hyping yourself up. You actually prove everything that you say. You have receipts to back it up. So I'm just honored and blessed to know you and just be able to work with you, because I tell you, when I'm in the studio with this guy, I don't feel apprehensive. I don't feel like I can't be my authentic self. I don't feel like I can't I don't feel like I'm pressured in any type of way to sound a certain type of way. And everything that I do in his studio comes out amazing. Like, y'all gotta give Tone the Artist a play. When y'all ready to get y'all stuff laid the right way, engineered the right way, mixed the right way, like, he mixes stuff and it sound like it's mastered. It sound like it's already ready already. And that's what artists need. They need a great engineer to accompany their great sound and their gift. So if you're an artist out there, regardless of what you do, sing, rap, and you want to go into a studio where someone will make you sound crystal clear, and make no mistake about it, he's going to work that until it sounds right. Okay, he's very much a perfectionist. He's like, wait a minute, hold on now. Even when he's recording you, he makes sure that you record it properly so that everything can mesh together. And his harmonies be on point, y'all. I know he was singing. He surprised me sometimes, because he be like, hey, like, do this instead of this. And I do it, and it be sounding good, y'all. So you also need somebody that know how to arrange as well. He is a great arranger as well. If he can hear it, he's gonna give it to you. He's gonna like he already sees the vision. It's funny because he saw the vision for a lot of my stuff before I saw the vision. And I'm like, how you see it? And I wrote it, you know, like so it's amazing working with you. I love working with you. And I want to know if you can give them a taste of what you do. If you can give them a taste of the music that you created. I mean, you can play a little bit of my stuff if you want, but I'm gonna mute. So if like I'll pick your two best, and we're just gonna play them. Whatever your first one is, I want you to give them the description of what it is, and who the artist is. Because I know you work with a lot of artists. You may not just play your stuff. You might play somebody else's stuff. I don't know, but it's a mystery. I don't know what he's gonna play, y'all. But go ahead.
So, all right. So, befittingly enough, well, first let me mention really quick before I play, the engineer. All artists, listen up. The engineer might be the most important person in your studio career. That is the last person to touch your music before it hits the world. No different than the hairdresser on set or the makeup artist on set. Do not downplay the importance of having a great engineer, and do not downplay the importance of doing your best, because you expect the engineer to do their best every time you come in. So when you come in, have your bars ready, know your lyrics, understand microphone etiquette, do your best so that what you give to the engineer is the best ingredients to bake that cake. If I said bring me 3 eggs and you bring me 1, do not expect your cake to come out like the things that you see on TV, because it's not, because I said I need 3 eggs, not 1 egg. So understand that that is your lifeline. That's the last person to touch it before the world gets to judge it. So understand that. So
in other words, he's saying, y'all, I make magic with my board, but I'm not a magician. So just because I could turn some stuff, make some stuff happen, don't mean that you know you can just come in there half-assed and stuff. Like, don't do that. Because I know there's been times where I haven't been my best. And he like, I know you can give me more. Like, I know you can give me more. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to just be scheduled. And also, time is money, y'all. Don't go in here wasting these engineers' time. Don't go in here wasting this studio time. Come prepared. At least rehearse your stuff several times before you get into the studio so you can have it down pat. Like, I used to hate, you know, going into a studio with a rapper who said, oh, I want you to sing a hook or whatever. And I'm like, all right, you know, I'm there. And they take forever just to do their rap or whatever. And I'm like, come on now. Like, I'm not trying to be here all night. Like, let me just, you know, lay my hook so I can go home, you know. And then the engineer even looking like, what the hell? Like, you said you was ready. And I mean, if you got money like that, then by all means, you know, spend that money. But if you really ain't got it like that, and then you up there talking about some, oh, well, he didn't mix down my stuff right, and he, you know, he tried to have all this attitude and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that the engineer should have an attitude, but I'm just saying, like, time is money, y'all. Y'all gotta realize, like, y'all can't be in here wasting these people's time. If you ain't ready, don't go to the studio yet. Get yourself ready, and I'm not saying perfect it, because sometimes you might get to the studio and you might hear something different, or the engineer, and also this, y'all, constructive criticism is very beneficial. If your engineer is giving you constructive criticism, now me and Tone, we go back. So it was times where I was like, what you mean I don't? But then I got older, and I realized that that is to help me, not to hinder me. And with his input, I'm able to crank out amazing content listen, if the engineer is telling you, listen, you gotta give me more energy, or you gotta, you know, don't take it as a diss or a stab at your art. Take it and say, okay, let me digest what was being said. Let me come back, and it makes me feel good when I come in and he's like, and I'm together and I got it right, and he's like, that was a good take. You know, it feels good because I feel like that I took what he said, I went home, I perfected, I came back, and now I'm just that much better. So I thank you for that, because at first, like, young artists that are out there and you feel like people are taking a stab at you and they're just coming at you all type of way, it's a difference between somebody hating on you and there's a difference between someone that's giving you constructive criticism. And if you're in the studio with an engineer that has made all these other people sound amazing and they're telling you they need something from you, make sure that you have that down and you take it for what it is, great advice, to make your sound come out much better. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get that rant out.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. And one more thing, it's the last thing I'm gonna say before I play the song. Auto-tune is not a fixer, it's an enhancer. It enhances what you can already do. If you can't sing, it will not fix that. I'm trying to tell you, I have tried it with countless artists. It is meant to enhance what you already are presenting. It's not meant to make you a singer, because it can't do that. People think that Young Thug or Fetty Wap or Future just go in there going, no, they actually have melodic content to what they're putting into the microphone. That's why auto-tune is able to take it and then enhance it. Enhancement. All of my artists say it together. Enhancement. Yes, that's what it does. It doesn't fix anything. It enhances what you already got. So this first song I'm going to play was co-written by LaShia. Yes, yes, yes. And it's called Winter Love. Yes, this will be the first time people will be hearing this, so I'm going to play it. And let me know if the sound is too loud or too low, and boom, here we go.
I'm looking for that winter love. When it's cold outside, we can cuddle up. I'm feeding for your love, you got me heated this season. I'm all yours, playing doors. Girl, your sex is like a drug. Let's get high up with love. Unwrap you like the gift that you are. Put you right on top just like a star. Oh, baby, by the fireplace, as I grip you by the waist, north and south on my phone. Baby, it's cold outside, you don't have to go. Got plans to kiss on you, no need for mistletoe. You got me in the holiday, feeling some type of way. I'm looking for that winter love. When it's cold outside, we can cuddle up. I'm feeling for your love, you got me heated this season. I'm all yours, playing doors. Girl, your sex is like a drug. Let's get high up with love. It's about time to get everyone out the house. Now I'm gonna show you what this love about. Light up the tree while like these trees, and take this off while you dance for me. Let it snow outside, you never have to go. Can't stop kissing you, don't need no mistletoe. You're looking like a holiday, holiday. Got me feeling feeling some type of way. I'm looking for that winter love. And it's cold outside, we can cuddle up. I'm feeding for your love, you got me heated this season. I'm all yours, playing through. Girl, your sex is like a drug. Let's get high up, winter love. Yeah. Winter love. Yeah. Winter love.
That's my song. That's my song. I love that song. Like, amazing. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, go ahead and play that.
Your pen game was strong. It was crazy. I was like, it's funny because when you wrote it, I was like, I'm nervous. I can't record this in front of her right now. I gotta wait till she leaves. But when you left, I was on it. That same night, I was on it. I finished it all in that one night. I was like, this joint right here is ridiculous. And yeah, your pen game is something to remark. So, this second joint I'm going to play, where is it at? This second joint I'm going to play, I will play with your permission whenever you're around. Okay, so this is a joint that I produced, engineered, and she wrote the hell out of this song. God dang. I think the paper was lit on fire while she was writing this joint. So this is called Whenever You're Around. This is one of my favorite LaShia songs.
You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile when I think of, when I'm out and about, doing my thing, making my round. Oh, the reason why I'm happy, don't know your presence sends me, just sends the earth round, from heaven bound. I go just the crowd, it's like I'm floating, whenever you're around. Don't touch the ground, it's like I'm floating, whenever you're around. I can't help it, I got everything. I can't help it, I am so in love. Whenever you're around, I'm looking at your stargazing, getting planets. Love is amazing. Past the physical is mental. Only mind did I pay into. And it's the simple things that you do to show me that your love is true. A love unfiltered, not questioned. A love only shared with someone special. I know I found it in you. The words are spoken, here's a token of my love to you. Hey, how high do you wanna go? Together there's no limits. It's the passion and energy for me. See, I don't touch the ground. It's like I'm floating whenever you're around. See, I don't touch the ground. It's like I'm floating whenever you're around.